Hey there, Ron Sullivan, your online hitting consultant, challenging you today to think a little bit different about the collapsing of the back shoulder. There's a lot of information on YouTube, guys talking about how to fix it and so forth. I'm going to talk about why young players tend to collapse, and something you can start looking for if you have a player that's doing the same thing. Give you a little bit of a test to see if your player is prone to it, right? And most of the time, when I see a player doing tee work with the ball sitting still, and they're at approach with the barrel below their hands like this at approach, I can guarantee you that that player is going to be prone to collapsing. All right, and why is that? Well, first off, let me say approach is whenever the barrel, it's just a signpost for us when we're looking at mechanics, right? When the barrel is between the player and the camera, right? Where it is in space. And so you can tell a lot about that position. Right, but I can almost guarantee you that if this player is saying in his brain, man, this feels really comfortable. That ball's sitting still, right, and it feels really comfortable to have the barrel way down here. I really like this feeling, right? And so they never move away from that, right? Comfort goes a long way, right? And so when the ball's coming in flight and it's falling, right, he's still trying to find that same position where he can get behind the ball, right? And so when a ball's falling, the only way you can really maintain that position is by letting your body collapse over the plate. So this sweet spot has to be eliminated completely, or you change the sweet spot, if you will. So on a ball that's sitting still on a tee, right, I want to feel when I'm at my approach that the barrel is on top of my hands more. Right? A lot of people get nervous about this. They think when you start saying stuff in that language that you're telling players linear style or whatever. Look, if you hit the top of the ball, I don't care if you're rotating or linear, it's going to go on the ground, right? That's, to me, we don't need any science to prove that. If you hit the top of the ball, it's going to go on the ground. We're not trying to teach players to hit the ball on top or hit the top of the ball. We're trying to get players to manage from on top so they can get through a ball. Right? Not across a ball with some giant uppercut, right? We're trying to teach players, particularly on the tee, you've got to learn to get through a ball, right? And so this is what I would suggest. If you have a player that's collapsing, right, what I would suggest is that you start getting them to feel like their barrel is staying on top of their hands longer, right, at this point when the ball is not moving. And you're going to see that that player is going to become more comfortable with attacking from on top instead of laying the barrel down behind it. Manage this part of their game, right? And I know, look, there's a lot of variables that could be causing a player to collapse. But if you manage this a little bit better, you're going to give a player a different feeling and a different sweet spot on how to come into the ball. And you're going to see less of this severe uppercut angle where the barrel's way below the hands on a ball that's sitting right here, right? Not moving. And he's got his hands way below the barrel way below the hands. So you eliminate that, and you're going to see a player that's going to feel more comfortable with not collapsing, right? And don't be afraid, right? On a player that does this, don't be afraid to put something back here, behind in this area. There's no reason for a player behind them to get behind the ball this early on the tee, right? So you can put an object there, and I don't recommend that you put something real high right in front of the tee and have them chop down at the ball. But I think that you could put something back there to kind of teach them to, hey, I don't have to lay everything down to get to that sweet spot, right? I'm going to develop a new spot where I can drive the ball pretty hard. All right, guys, thanks. Ron Sullivan, your online hitting consultant. Thanks.